Hey folks, Nathan here from the Star Wars Timeline Gold, Star Wars Beyond the Films, and the Star Wars gaming podcast Cloud City Casino over at StarWarsReport.com, bringing you a look at the first wave of expansions for Star Wars Legion. This is the 74Z Speeder Bikes unit expansion. Just like the core set, you've got two speeder bikes here, or two biker scouts on speeder bikes, your 74Zs, and you have all that you need to be able to play with them. So this is essentially doubling your arsenal. What we find is that one of these is the exact same mini as what we got back in the core set, or what most people did, and then we got one that is basically a variant, which is a different model, but they all play the same way. Not quite as much material here as far as upgrade cards compared to, say, the AT-RT, but this is comparable price-wise to the AT-RT, the Stormtroopers, and the Rebel Troopers. If you're looking for a unit expansion, it is also $25, but you can tend to find it for about $20 elsewhere online right now. So, before we look at the minis, we have the unit card, we have our order token, it is support also, Imperial on the other side, aim and dodge tokens, in this case 6 wound tokens, whereas the AT-RT had 3 1-wound tokens and 1 for 3, but it's still the same amount of wounds, oddly enough. Our proof of purchase, we have ourselves 3 upgrade cards this time instead of 5. We have long-range comlink, which we had in the core set, and we have 2 copies this time of Comms Jammer, which we saw 1 copy of as something new when we looked at the AT-RT. Now, this guy here, our first speeder bike, okay, this guy is product number 17. He is the same as product number 17 from the core set, only that's the one for me that was missing the arm, so I never got a chance to actually see what he looked like once he had, you know, both arms. That's this guy here, so that is going to be a duplication. He's just a regular old speeder bike guy. And then as far as that's your unit leader, by the way, here I should say. So he's sort of a regular, you've seen him before kind of guy. The special one, though, this time, is one that's just considered a speeder bike, and that is this guy that's actually product number 52. Holy crap. He's basically leaning a little more forward and looks kind of like he's turning. He's got one arm pulled in, one arm up a little further. Otherwise, aside from the pose, they are essentially the same. Again, I would warn those who have never tried pulling these together that this is probably the most complex item to put together of all of the Star Wars Legion stuff so far, and that includes the AT-ST that we're going to take a look at here. So, this little guy here, you're going to have the arms separate. In some of these cases, you'll have a head separate, though not this case. You're going to have to put them on, attach the handlebars that are built in to the arms. You're going to be putting on the little flashlight-looking sucker here, the weapon on the bottom, both the fins for the front, the pack for the back, the bumper-looking thing there, the stand, and the base. All of those are little pieces in some cases you're going to put together using super glue. It looks great once it's put together, and the pieces are designed so that they should sort of fit together, so you don't have to figure out the angle of the fins, for instance. They're cut in such a way that when you hold them together, they're going to dry into the right angle. But again, much more complex than any of the other minis that you're putting together for Legion so far, and all of this whole idea of having to actually put them together with super glue is something that fans of Armada and X-Wing and Imperial Assault have not had to deal with yet. Yes, there is assembly required. Just know that when you're getting into it. Again, these videos are designed primarily for those who are like me, who are newbies to wargaming, so I can keep you up to date on the kind of stuff I run into when I'm trying this stuff out for the first time. But if you like your 74Z Speeder Bikes unit that you're using in the core set, and you want another pair of these, another unit, which allows you to use the 2, then look no further than the unit expansion of the Z4Z, or the 74Z, excuse me, Speeder Bikes for Star Wars Legion. Just know that aside from a slightly different pose and your comm jammers, you're essentially dealing with stuff that you already have from that core box.